Tonight from Memorial Stadium in Kannapolis, it's the A.L. Brown Wonders of Kannapolis taking on the Trojans from Northwest Cabarrus. Pleasant good evening, everyone. Along with Woody Kane, I'm Randy Whitley, and the two intra-county rivals get it on again. Northwest and Kannapolis, they've had some good ones over the years, but this year a little bit different. One team is going one direction, the other going the other one.
It really is, Randy. Kannapolis has won 3 straight. Northwest has lost 3 straight. They're both 4-3, however, coming into this game, but the big difference, something you and I have been harping on all season, conference record. Kannapolis 2-0. Northwest 0-3 in terms of conference play. There, it points out how important that is.
Look at important games. They're all important now as each team in their respective conferences. But let's talk a little bit about the traditional rivalry of this game. It's been over almost 25 years since Northwest has been able to beat a Kannapolis team.
And over the past few years, there's been a little bit of animosity between these teams. Last year, a very competitive game. It was, I think, 21-7, but closer than that down the stretch before Kannapolis scored late. A lot of seniors on both rosters. They'd like to get one last crack at each other.
Well, I'm sure it will be hard hitting, and we'll kind of dive into it and dice it out here. More pregame for you coming up in just a minute. Well, that cannon has been shut off quite a bit the last couple of weeks as Kannapolis' offense has kind of kicked it up a couple of notches as we're just a few minutes away from tonight's opening kickoff. Earlier, Woody Gant well, he was doing Steve Gant's job, but Woody Kane had a chance to catch up with one of the assistant coaches for A.L. Brown. His name is Jeremy Ryan.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Well, Coach Ryan, you come in here tonight on a real hot streak, your team does, but you face a team that can be real dangerous in Northwest.
Well, Northwest is real dangerous. They have type of capability on offense that could take it the distance on many plays. Shelton Roseborough's in the name that comes to mind.
That's the one thing I wanted to talk about tonight with you. The coaches are concerned for Northwest about your speed. You guys, on the other hand, are concerned about Roseborough running, 20, 30 times and really getting in a groove, aren't you?
Well, Shelton's run rampant over just about everybody he's played against, and we're just looking for the opportunity to maybe contain him.
If we had to look at one stat tonight, besides the score, that would indicate a good outcome for you guys, what might that be tonight?
Keeping the ball and extended drives and defense going 3 and out. Things, momentum switches like creating turnovers on our part and making big plays on offense.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, Randy, back to you.
Kannapolis on a current 3-game winning streak. Northwest Cabarrus, however, as we said, on a 3-game losing streak, and more importantly, they've lost 3 of those games in their respective conference. Woody also caught up earlier with head coach Glenn Padgett of the Trojans.
Okay, thanks, Randy. We caught Coach Padgett about to head in the locker room with his team. Coach, one thing you said on Headliners Wednesday night, you're concerned about the team speed for Kannapolis. What kind of things are you going to try to do tonight to counter that?
Well, I think, there's not a lot really you can do to counter it. One of the things you can do is you can misdirect them a little bit, and hopefully with their speed they get out of position. And, you try not to run wide on them so much. You have to run wide every now and then just to keep them honest, maybe pull people out of the box. But, you have to run right at them. And on defense, you just have to play good assignment defense, control your gaps. We got people covered up, hit them, hit our tackles, hit our guards, read our keys, do those types of things, and play mistake-free, hard-nosed football.
Coach, what's going to be one key stat for your team tonight, other than the score?
Ball possession. That's the biggest factor of the game for us, because we know if we've got it, they don't. And, they're the kind of team, they're explosive, they can score from right here, they can score from the 1-foot line going that way. So we've got to be able to possess the ball, eat the clock, hopefully, and do things and not get away from our game plan, not panic if they get up early, do the things that we do best. And the biggest thing is the kids have to play with confidence, have to have fun, play hard, and have confidence in themselves.
Okay, Coach, thanks for taking the time. We'll let you get back to work. Thank you. Okay, Randy, back to you.
And that's why you play it on the field, folks. You're dealing with teenagers, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Well, let's talk more about the game. Let's look at some of our keys, what we think.
Well, number 1, speed kills. The coaches have been talking about that all week long. You think about guys like Maurice Edwards and Chris Carter, but the main guy, one they're getting back right now, right here, you see Andre Allison's numbers, but how about this, Randy? Everybody remembers that injury in the Concord game, but in the 2 games since he's come back, Kannapolis has scored 82 points. Last week he had a catch for a touchdown and returned a kick for a touchdown. He is electrifying and can get the job done. That brings us to our next key, eat up the clock. You heard Coach Padgett talking about that very thing, and the main man in that effort will be Shelton Roseboro. He has tremendous numbers. Second year in a row, he's rushed for 1,000 yards. A 3-year starter. Randy, he is averaging 27 carries per game, and that's how you eat up clock indeed. And finally, our last key for the game, staying home on defense. Northwest Cabarrus likes to use a lot of misdirection. It'll be important for Kannapolis to maintain containment, stay in their lanes. For Kannapolis, they've got the speed to cut back against the grain and take a play all the way to the house, so staying home will be important for Northwest in that respect as well. And you heard Coach Padgett talking about that speed. He definitely needs to have his players stay in the way.
Exactly. Talking about Roseboro, one more note. 4 more games at least for Northwest. He's got a shot at maybe going 2,000 yards in the season, which is almost unprecedented in high school football. Well, you've heard the coaches. We've talked about a little bit of the players. Let's kick this thing off. Our coverage continues in just a minute. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, our game of the week, Northwest and A.L. Brown. The co-captains getting set for the coin toss. And let's go field side right now.
Captain Knight, Mr. Wall. 65, Captain Spadell.
Captain, good to see you.
99, Captain Watson. 76, Reed. 26, Roseboro. Number 16, Captain Carter. Number 66, Captain Steele. And talking Captain Norris, number 77. Shake hands, gentlemen, if you will. Thank you. My fellow officials tonight are Mr. Garner, who will be your line judge. Mr. Johnson will be your back judge. Mr. Strimple will be your head linesman. This is Mr. Hadley. He'll be your umpire. When there's a flag on the field, if you'll come to me, I'll explain your options, okay? Also, as captains of your team, if you will help me exhibit good sportsmanship in the game tonight, it would be deeply appreciated, all right? Okay, you're the visiting team. I got a tail and a head. Call it while it's in the air. If I drop it, I'll flip it again. You ready? He calls a tail. It is a tail. It is a tail. You win the toss. You may kick, receive, defend a goal, or defer to the second half. You want to receive, right? What goal do you want to defend? You want to defend the scoreboard. Put your back to the scoreboard. White, put your back to the flagpole, if you will. White wins the toss and has elected to receive.
As the teams make their entrances, of course you heard the first cannon shot of the night, and if you were standing in the vicinity of it, you probably won't hear anything else the rest of the night.
Maybe not.
Oh, the electricity of an inter-county rivalry. Northwest Cabarrus has given Kannapolis fits in this place. Been close so many times to winning over the last few years, as Woody May mentioned. There's Clint Padgett. Got them shorts on, so that's good looks.
I think you picked that one up from E.Z. Smith.
It's hard not to.
Look at that guy's got a football on his head.
Well, we're only a couple weeks away from Halloween. I wonder if it comes off. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Have to go to the emergency room and have that removed.
Well, I only think I haven't checked in just a couple of weeks. We got a Halloween game. I wonder if it's going to be a full moon.
You never know. It seems like we've always been at Northwest on Halloween over the past several years, or the closest date to it.
Northwest in their away white, black helmets, trimmed in gold. Big game for Kannapolis to maybe keep pace with Morrisville. They are the only undefeated teams in the North Piedmont, and a very big game for Northwest Cabarrus because they are already down 3 in the conference, and they can't afford mathematically to lose anymore. Northwest will be moving right to left here in the first period as we get set to kick this thing underway. It'll be Philip Jackson, one of the deep backs. He wears number 3 and number 26, Shelton Roseboro. So they got some speed. The key is Kannapolis going to kick it to him.
Well, I don't think you want to kick it to Roseboro, but Jackson seems to be the primary return man for Northwest Cabarrus.
We'll just wait and see. Chase Louder, the 5'11", 165-pound junior. Ready to get this one underway as the crowd continues to come in on Just a wonderful night for football.
There's Roseboro, who we were talking about a moment ago.
Louder comes forward, and this one's underway. It will go deep. And it will be Jackson at about the 2-yard line. Crunched at the 15. Good coverage by the Wonders. Initially, Clifford White down there along with Danielle Brown. Let's take a look at the Trojans as they shake out offensively.
Well, the interesting thing about this offensive line, Randy, all seniors except for the center. Justin Pender is only a sophomore. Then you look at Roseboro, we talked about 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns this year. Godwin, 20 catches, 5 TDs. Kannapolis, 3-man front on that defensive line. And then you see the A.L. Brown Wonders linebackers and defensive backs, and we're ready to go.
First and 10, 16-yard line. It'll be the fade, but not to Roseboro. As going off the left side will be number 21, Craig Waller, who's a workhorse at the halfback position. He'll get out good yardage out to the 21-yard line.
191 pounds and a senior, and this is what they'll want to do, Randy. Misdirection. You may see 2, at times even 3 fakes in the backfield, trying to keep the defense off balance. And you heard Coach Padgett say it's going to be tough to run around the end zone. Look at this, 3 receivers.
Well, let's see if Allman goes to the air. Nope, he'll go to Roseboro. He's hit and stopped in the backfield. Penetration made that play. Josh Reeves, the first Wonder on the defensive side of the ball.
Reeves, 220 pounds and a junior. He just read that play, stayed home, and followed Shelton Roseboro wherever he went. Watch him here. Watch 5 at the top of your picture. That's how you bust up a play.
Talking about shadow. Let's see if Allman goes to the air now. It's 3rd down. They need 5. Allman, 33 of 76 for 528 yards and 6 touchdowns in the passing department this season. He fakes the toss. They'll go straight up the gut trying to catch the Wonders. And Roseboro is going to be short of the first down out to the 24-yard line. There's a shot of some of the assemblage of fans.
Mostly the band members still filing back in their seats. Here we go. Take a look at it again. It's not Roseboro, actually, Randy. It's Waller again up the middle, and he bounces off a couple of people and is only able to generate a couple of yards. Not enough for the first down. There you see ready to kick for Northwest is Michael Hamilton.
Back deep, Allison. He has 4 returns for touchdowns. That's a combination of kicks and punt return. Pressure coming. Allison peels back and will let it go. And it will roll, take a Northwest bounce down to the 34-yard line is where the offense of Kannapolis will come onto the field and will meet the Wonders right now.
Well, if you look at the offensive line, they have pretty much the same situation, Randy. All seniors with the exception of John Hyatt. They're only a sophomore. Drew Marr, 3 touchdown passes in each of the past 2 games. He's getting the job done as well. We documented Allison, Carter, and Edwards with the speed. Then you look at the defensive line for Northwest Cabarrus. You got Ryan Spidell there, 6'4", 310 pounds. And there you see the linebackers and secondary players. Philip Jackson, of course, going both ways.
Kannapolis comes out of the I formation with 2 wide, tailback, and it's Carter trying to skip outside. He does a pretty good job. Trojans string it out. Now Carter gets the shoulder squared, and that's where he's dangerous.
And there comes a late flag.
So tack it on at the end of the play. He tiptoed. Danny Meendering pushed him out of bounds, but he tiptoed an extra 10 yards, Woody.
And this is what Coach Padgett was most afraid of. A couple of Trojans had some nice penetration, had a chance to seal that one off and make Carter cut it back toward the middle where they had help, but he was able to use that speed to keep running toward the sidelines and get around him. Personal foul against Northwest.
So Kannapolis runs 1 play and gets good yardage from scrimmage. Then the dead ball foul, they'll tack on the yardage, and they'll have great field position once they signal the ball. Good Padgett saying, when did that occur? When did that occur?
It was only out of bounds. You see Marco Reed coming up the middle here. He can't get there. He runs by one, runs by another, and Carter right here turns on the Jets. Now he's out of bounds, and then there comes a late hit from behind. I understand Meendering is Jeff Meendering's brother who races out at Concord Motorsport Park a lot.
Well, they're
a small world.
They're both used to moving, aren't they?
Yeah. There's Marr. He's really come into his own, hasn't he?
A little confidence. You can see it building each week as they send Edwards in motion. He'll get the toss and nobody home on the corner. And Edwards is dangerous in the open field. There's a block. There's a flag. Edwards down inside the 15 or actually the 20-yard line. But it probably will come back.
At least some of it, Randy. The reason nobody was home on the corner, I believe it was Chris Carter, who had just a spectacular block. He ran somebody completely out of the way. May have grabbed at the end for the hold, but I mean 16 Carter just eliminated that side. There was supposed to be somebody home, as you said, but Carter took him out of the play.
Well, maybe the holding was the reason.
Well, he didn't until he got further downfield, if indeed it was him, and we won't get the indication which player it was.
Obviously, Northwest will accept that. Here we
Watch
see it
16
again.
at the top of your picture. You couldn't see him there. He was already downfield. But a nice run. Kannapolis sealed it off well. The block didn't come until he had already gotten well past the line of scrimmage.
Well, it remains first down and 10. Here's Martin in the air. Plenty of protection. Nobody home trying to hit Allison.
Well, he had a couple of guys for release valves. He had King over toward the sidelines, and then he had Edwards back over toward his right. But there was a lot of room in the middle for Andre Allison. The Northwest players giving him some cushion, being concerned about that speed.
Allison with 25 catches on the year coming into tonight's game. And keep in mind, he missed 3/4 of the Concord game and another game the next week. So that's not a full season yet.
And the week before he got hurt, all he did was catch 11.
Yeah. On second down, they try the fullback. A couple that time. Down to the Northwest 37-yard line. There's Dale King, who's been their bread and butter man. He's doing the hard work inside. Michael Carter, one of the linebackers for Northwest there defensively.
Well, that's what Kannapolis has been able to do since they've gotten some of that speed back. We talked about their injuries earlier this year. Now they can spread the field. Now they can make you really stretch your defense out. And when you get stretched too thin, they can slam it up in there with either Dale King or they come back with Rod Johnson, and that is a load.
Key passing situation here. They've got a single setback on 3rd and 8 from the 37. Edwards in motion. Play fake. Marr finds some time. Now dumps it off the fingertips of Chris Carter. Went past just a little high.
Yeah, some good pressure from Bryson Stewart that time. Marr with 2 fakes, play action, trying to get back there and find Carter coming across. But he got some good pressure from Northwest Cabarrus. Bryson Stewart, the linebacker. Watch 45 coming in. 2 fakes there, play action. And here he comes. Boy, but Chris was wide open, wasn't he?
It had been fun to see what he did after he caught the ball. Well, they're going to punt as Daniel Smith comes in. Well, he did come in. Now they're going to bring him off, bring the punt team back off. So apparently they're saying, well,
down here at the, what, 37?
37?
Yeah. Want to go ahead and give it a try. You run the risk if you have the punt go into the end zone of only gaining about 17 yards on the kick anyhow.
They've got Bickerstaff, Edwards, and Allison all in the pass pattern. A slot on the right side. Marr out of the gun. Pressure coming. Now he'll dump it off in the flat. And the first down is picked up and then some. And did he stay in bounds is the question. No, yes he did. Touchdown for Mr. Carter.
My goodness.
Wasn't that pretty?
You want to talk about balance, speed, physical control. Chris Carter showed it all to you there. Anthony Yanni, the linebacker, was coming in on that play from the top of your screen. Watch 44 right here. They let him come in, lob it over to Carter, coming through, coming across on the screen. And then he just does the rest with speed. Everybody kept thinking he's going to get out, he's going to get out. You see a pinwheel in the arm at the end.
Size C, wide width shoe. D, he would have been out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Now the extra point attempt was up and good by Deloney. And the Wonders on 4th down and 8 score on the 37-yard touchdown pass to Chris Carter. 8:25 remaining opening period. Wonder kickoff coming up. Back at Memorial Stadium for Drew Marr. That was his 11th touchdown pass of the season. And for Carter, his 4th touchdown catch of the year. And just like that, just when you think you got the Wonders pinned, here they come back on a big 4th down play. This will be returned at the 11-yard line. Spinning out is Jackson to about the 22. We're checking this, Matt Gurley.
No, I'm sorry, Randy. I confused you.
Daniel Brown.
I gave you the wrong name there. My fault.
We'll get it right in a minute.
Sooner or later.
Now the Trojans down for the first time in this game. Have the ball on offense for the 2nd time. Setting up shop at the 22-yard line. Go with a quick count. And Roseboro going nowhere. I saw a 77 latched on, and that's Norris.
Let's take a look at that touchdown again if we can, Randy. The interesting thing is Carter coming from the opposite side of the field. Watch him lob it over, and Carter had come from the bottom of your picture there to get in that position for the screen pass. And my goodness, Randy, he got pushed a couple of times and just would not go out of bounds. Balance.
How does that guy stay incognito? How can you forget about 16?
Well, I'm sure they were thinking he's going to be a receiver, you know, and then he comes across the other way and gets kind of lost in the shuffle.
All the while, Marr was getting some pressure and got it off. They kind of sucked him in perfectly. Now they'll try the left side. Positive gain this time out near the 27, 28-yard line goes Roseboro. Daniel Brown, the first one to beat him.
Look at this. They come out to meet him, and then Roseboro tucks the ball up and gets met by a host of green jerseys, but that's the kind of action Kannapolis is going to see a lot of tonight.
For the Trojans, we won't say a critical third down conversion, but it'd be nice to do other than a 3 and out here. They've got it 3rd down and 4. Allman will keep it. Now he pumps the pass out to Roseboro. Complete, first down and then some. Midfield brought down by the ankles. Brown on the tackle, but not before he gets down to the 44-yard line. That's exactly what Kannapolis just did to them, but they scored on it.
Very nice play. You'll see Roseboro come out of the backfield. He'll go down to the bottom of your picture, then come all the way back up to the top. See, right here he's back in the lane, and he's got all kinds of room.
How to make a dangerous runner even more dangerous? Get him the little swing pass out there
in the open field.
First down of the game for the Trojans. First time they've entered Wonder territory. And here we come back the other way. So something positive on 3rd down there.
Looks like they got an equipment problem down there. Maybe one of the helmets was a little messed up. Chad Keller looked like he had an equipment problem, but he's okay now.
On 1st down. Waller down to about the Wonder 41-yard line, hitting the right side. And Norris over there initially. The big 77 guy getting up off the bottom. 6'3", 250 pound, one of the senior leaders on that defensive side.
And they've done this on 1st down, I think, for 3 straight tries now, Randy, gone with the fullback Waller. Everybody's got to be thinking Roseboro. You give him the bulk of your attention on defense, and then Waller has a little room to operate.
2nd down and 6 for the Trojans as we're halfway through the opening period. 6 minutes to go. And it will be, once again, Waller. About a yard.
That might have been Roseboro.
It is so tough. Northwest, the execution is excellent.
What's interesting, though, Randy, to me is how close the backs stand in the line of scrimmage. Typically, you see 5, 6, 7, even sometimes 8 yards back, but the Northwest backs are within 2 yards.
Yeah, I guess an I back in the straight power I formation, you're usually 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage when you start. 3rd down now again, but they need 5.
That's Godwin, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think it's 85, but they're going to be short of the first down, but you're kind of in 4 down territory. Yeah,
looks like we got an injured Trojan there. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Check it out again. Fake, and then the Carlos coming across.
Actually, they're going to say the line to make just inside the Wonder 35-yard line. They're going for it.
Well, why not? Kannapolis did on the other end.
Godwin is the man at the top of your screen. Dangerous wide out. Well, it might be 4th down and about 7 as Northwest jumping early on the offensive line.
Looked like Andrew Winstead moved. One of the Wonders flinched, and then Winstead moved.
Yeah, the top. Get your tight end moving before the rest of them. Well, it was Kannapolis.
Just as we said, Winstead. Now watch Kannapolis. See that? Winstead did move, but at the middle of your picture, you saw Kannapolis come across first.
So a smart play by Winstead to go ahead and get off the marks. He saw the encroachment.
Well, you can't get back, though, anyway.
Well, you get a free hit.
Yeah, and that's something to look forward to.
And the Trojans have a first down at the Wonder 31-yard line. Almost getting the handoff of the Wonder defense. I don't know how they were able to execute that time, but they do get something positive. 2 yards off the right side. And it's Roseboro.
And just as Allman was getting there to give him the ball, there was contact. They were fortunate that that play worked as well as it did, because it could have easily have gone against them. Could have been disastrous.
Northwest with a big third down conversion. Then they get a gift on the offsides call on 4th down. And the drive continues at the 30-yard line, 2nd down and 8. Play fake, Allman, backside pressure, and he's going to reverse his field. Running for his life, almost picked off. 79 for Kannapolis came in, and Chad Keller almost got that one, and there was nobody in front of him.
And Josh Reeves was a guy who really flushed him out. I really think he wanted to run it. Allman comes up here and tucks it up like he's going to keep it and run. Then he realizes, now he's got to go the other way. And look at Reeves chasing him right there.
Clifford White, initially, number 33, was the guy who was, you got to be hearing the footsteps behind you.
Boy, there were, at least 5 green jerseys surrounding him almost.
Allman lucky to get the ball, I'll be honest with you. After all that excitement, it's still 3rd down. They need 8. Play fake. Here we go again with Careless, and he's going to go nowhere. Pursuit catches up, and really making the play was Robert Clark. Number 8. There you see him.
And you can tell he's excited about it. He wasn't the first guy there, but he may have had the biggest impact. Watch him here at the end. Bang.
Back to normal action. Got a injury by one of the linemen for Northwest Cabarrus. So an official's timeout is called. 3:22 to go in the first period. We'll step away as well. Return to Memorial Stadium. That is not good looking for the Trojans. Craig Waller, obviously the right leg area. There you see Roseboro's numbers. So far, Kannapolis has contained him, but
you would expect both those will go up.
Oh, yeah. Right now it is 4th down and 8. Obviously 4-down territory. Northwest, single back in the backfield. Allman over the middle and complete. First down at the 25-yard line. Michael Carter with a clutch catch. A good throw. Michael Carter's normally a linebacker.
What is he doing in there? Catching first down passes is what? Pressure up the middle for Allman. He just hangs it out there. Carter finds a seam in the middle.
Just a little timing route, and it worked perfectly.
Well, I guess Michael Carter is also a tight end or backup fullback, and they put him in instead of Waller. But he lines up out here now.
Well, they talk about 4th and 3rd down conversions. 4th down conversions are even now as the pile moves forward. I'm not sure where to call the progress. This Roseboro got lost in there amongst the sea of green. He's going to get just inside the 10-yard line.
He sure did, Randy, but you heard Coach Padgett in the pregame talking about chewing up clock, time of possession. This is exactly the kind of drive Northwest Cabarrus loves right here.
Well, they've had the ball a little over 6 minutes now in this drive.
Kannapolis, of course, more of a quick strike team, but Northwest wants to keep it.
2nd and 5. Northwest looking pretty promising right now, just inside the 10. Tripped up the line of scrimmage, falling forward for maybe 2 yards as Roseboro. Looks like Norris got in there and got an arm up. And you got to get Roseboro early.
What they're trying to do, they had 4 receivers to spread things out, then come right back up the middle with Roseboro, thinking that there wouldn't be as much traffic for him to work through in there, but just a fine play by Norris.
The line to make the 4-yard line for a new set of downs. Godwin along with Careless out wide to the top. You got 2 receivers down to the bottom. One of those is Carter. Well, they're going to run it. Roseboro tripped up. The thing I like about Shelton is he gets hit, but he does go forward. All the good backs seem to have that ability, as he'll be near the 6-yard line.
We got Alan Clark or Chad Keller in there on the stop that time. Looked like it was Clark who actually pushed his own man into Roseboro, and that knocked him down.
Well, the hole wasn't quite big enough. The hole was moving.
Now, if you're using the opponent to beat down the other guy's running back, if you're picking up the old lineman and just throwing him into the running back, you've got something going on.
4th down and a yard. And Allman will stand up and call a timeout. I don't know if they were trying to draw the Wonders offsides or what, but the timeout called. Northwest, their first timeout with 1:04 to go here in the first period. Don't forget, headliners coming up next week. A big game coming up. We'll have Easy Smith of Concord in our studio as Concord goes down to Anson County, the Bearcats, and that's not an easy place to go in regardless of Anson County's record. So Anson right now only one game down in the loss column as far as the South Piedmont 3A is concerned. Concord undefeated as we talk right now. So that game with crucial playoff implications.
Absolutely, and before the season, most folks were kind of looking for those two to be the premier teams in the conference. Who would have thought Weddington and Piedmont would be up there? Where did that come from?
Well, I don't know. Every dog has its day, as they say. Northwest will keep the place kicker on the sidelines. 4th and 1. Allman trying to sneak for it. Depending on the spot, very crucial. The linesman comes up right at the 5. Norris of Kannapolis says they didn't get it.
Glenn Padgett doesn't look like he thinks they did either, the way he was shaking his head there, but let's see.
This will be key here if the Wonders stopped him. Is it close enough to bring the chains out?
Oh, you got to give him at least an obligatory visit for quarter. No, he's going to go ahead and make the call without the chain gang.
There you go. First down, but not by much. Jim Wall, better eyes than you and I, Woody.
Check it out again. He's just going to follow right up the middle and get enough for the first down.
Just inside the 5-yard line. That's where he needed to be. So it's 1st and goal. Roseboro, the single set. He'll get the ball. Bangs the middle for 3, maybe. I think the pile moved about 1.5 yards.
And that's the whole thing. It's just a pile. You even see guys who aren't necessarily that close on one end or the other pushing, trying to help the guys in the middle. Watch this at the end. Guys are just shoving, trying to make the pile fall their way.
Good gracious, what a battle going on down there. Andy Kelby's 290 pounds as we tick inside 10 seconds to go in the quarter. And Chad Keller, 215. That was a war going on down there in the trenches. They'll not get a playoff as we'll go all the way down to the other end of the field. 7-0. The Wonders on top, but that lead in jeopardy right now. Welcome back. We're getting set to go to the second period. First play, it is 2nd down and goal for the Trojans at the 3. Roseboro bangs the middle, got another yard, maybe 2, down near the 1.
Boy, he was met by about 3 green jerseys just almost at full speed, running right at it.
This drive began with 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first period.
Look at big 70 there for Kannapolis. Omar Osuna, 270 pounds, only 5'7".
Center of gravity definitely low to the ground.
Guarantee you.
Just inside the 1. 3rd down and goal. 4 wideouts. Roseboro again hit in the middle and touchdown Northwest. 15 rushing touchdowns on the year now for Shelton Roseboro. He's doing it in little bitty chunks tonight.
And that's exactly what Coach Padgett told us in the pregame show he wanted. I mean, Randy, they took off, what, 6 minutes?
Now they got it with 8:45 to go.
So more than that, yeah, almost 10 minutes.
Well, that's the way you draw it up on the board. Coach Padgett got his way in this segment of the game. Now they're within a point and knotting this one up. Big extra point here. And flags fly.
And it could be offsides against Kannapolis. Let's see.
If it is, that might change the whole complexion. That's half the distance, so you're about 1.5 yards out after they box the penalty off. Do you go for 2 this early in the game?
It doesn't look like Coach Padgett is going to go there. He's still wanting him to kick, looks like.
Yeah, he said he waved it off as his kick that ball.
And Jacob Allman was out there. He's the holder. He was wanting him to go for it. He was trying to get Coach to go his way and bring the offensive unit back on.
He said, I know Shelton can get 1.5 yards. Okay. Just a little bit closer. You can almost get too close sometimes. Snap, spot, kick is up. And this game is tied.
flying through there.
No cape, though. Terry Collins, I think, was the guy who went airborne. 11:20 to go in the first half. Back for the Trojan kickoff in just a minute. Back at Memorial Stadium, a new ball game, Woody, and a long drive by the Trojans to tie this game up after the Wonders did it scored on fourth down, a big pass play. They're doing it quick. Northwest is doing it, taking the old-fashioned way.
And that's kind of what we expected. Chris Carter's going to be the deep back here, Randy, but up, kind of trying to hide in the middle there is Andre Allison. He's at about the 20. So let's see where this one winds up.
Mike Crutchfield kind of pooches it in the middle. And about the 33-yard line, and out to the 38, maybe the 39, goes Josh Steele, who was kind of meandering out there in center field and came up with a football. Josh Steele, normally an outside linebacker, just a junior. One thing I saw there is he went back in one direction.
Well, I think one of the keys was
there's Coach Massey way up now. We saw him. He's got his very own table up there.
you can just barely see his cap peeping over the top.
That's a great vantage point. Marr on first down, throws the football, and making the first down catch, Joseph Bickerstaff, the tight end. First time they've thrown to Joseph tonight, but he caught it, got about 6 yards, and then the rest of it on his own.
Nice protection from Marr, nice strike there. Bickerstaff finds some room in the secondary. But Randy, I really think a big key on that play, think about the respect that Northwest has for Carter and Allison. Rather than let them touch it, they'd rather have Kannapolis just start their offense at the 40. That's what it comes down to.
Just shy of midfield. Marr coming down the line, options out, and a lot of room. Carter, oh, what a move. And then the burst of speed, and he drags folks out of bounds for another first down near the 33-yard line. 17, maybe 18 yards on the play for Carter.
And it looked like Northwest had their lanes maintained pretty well that time. Marr kept the ball, drew the defense, pitched it to Carter, and then watch number 6 coming up here, right there, trying to trip up Carter. That was Dominic Jackson, and Chris just put a move on him and went right by. He couldn't even dive at him and touch him.
Well, in 2 plays, just like that, here they are at the opponent's 33-yard line. There's a shot of Carter in a slot. Now he'll go in motion. They fake the pitch to him and go back again with a little misdirection for maybe a yard, and that's being kind. Edwards kind of diving in there.
And remember, he is the backup quarterback, and we saw him throw a halfback pass for a touchdown. What was it, the South Moran game, I believe?
That's always pretty when they kind of toss it back there. You got the luxury of having 2 quarterbacks.
Usually you see a running back, and he goes back there and tries to throw that thing, and it looks like a wounded duck flying through the air. But he threw a strike.
They fake the toss. Marr in trouble, tripped up. Good defensive play, and was that Marco Reed?
Yep, sure was. All 290 pounds of him. Marco Reed just came in low and was able to reach out and get Marr by the ankles as he tried to make a move right here. Marco Reed, Randy, to me, looks a lot heavier than he did last year, doesn't he?
Yeah, 290 might be.
I don't remember what he was playing at last year, but he looks a lot bigger this year.
And remember, we got to see him as a freshman, wasn't it, when he's down at Mount Pleasant?
Right.
So he's getting some experience here. 3rd down and 14, their longest conversion attempt of the night. Marr with all day to throw, and he had Allison out there and led him too far. Almost with an interception. Kicking himself was Philip Jackson, one of the DBs, who thought he could have come up with it.
Well, Allison had a seam there, Randy. He looked like he thought he had a lane where he was, because he kind of slowed down here as Marr is looking for him. Watch him coming across there. See, I believe he thought that he had the lane that Marr wanted and was trying to stay in it.
Godwin is going back deep. Kannapolis going to be bringing in the punt team. Yeah, nice kick. Does it get out of bounds? It hits inside the 10 and will go out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Daniel Smith has perfected the art of the punt here, it looks like.
When he first got that one in the air, it looked like it was going to be way too long, but he got it into the corner.
Well, you've got your opponent backed up, and if you're Glenn Patchen, the Trojans, you got to be feeling pretty good right now. You've just come back with a long drive, tied the game, held Kannapolis after giving up a couple of first downs. Get the ball back. Still got 9:16 to go here in the first half.
And here's a team, Randy, that's been putting up 41 points a game on average over the past couple. So they have been lighting up the scoreboard. You got them into the second quarter only with 7 points, and you got the ball back. That's good news if you're Northwest.
And this guy's only got 29 yards.
The officials are stopping play now. Looks like one of the Wonders had a little problem out there. Josh Reeves, the linebacker, is coming off toward the sidelines.
He may have a Charlie horse or a cramp or something. It looks like he's going to be okay. Single setback is Roseboro. He will get the call and a good hole up the middle. Nice yardage on first down across the 10 near the 13. Clifford White, one of the backers for Kannapolis over there defensively.
Well, watch Roseboro again right here. Great job on the trap there for the Trojans at the line of scrimmage. I mean, they got the man on the ground, and that's all Roseboro had to look at. A nice, clean lane. And the Trojans, Randy, have been actually very successful on first down tonight.
That's the key. That is the key. Man, 4 or 5 yards a clip. It just makes it so much easier as the progression of the series continues. On the outside with the first down is Roseboro. They kind of disguised that one. Shannon Blackman on the tackle for the Wonder defense, but that one looked like it was going inside. And
here he comes to the end. And did you see our young intern down there, Rob Stuck, maintaining his ground to give you that great sound? Watch Roseboro, bounces it outside here, and then he's just trying to get to the corner. Shannon Blackman catches up to him, though. But not before Shelton gets the first down.
Well, we got our favorite intern down there, and I saw our favorite photographer, Chad Mitchell, down there. So those guys are right on in the action, man.
The gang's all here tonight.
Waller. I'm taking not Waller.
I think it's
Jackson. Out to the 24-yard line. Chad Keller, who is getting better and better as the weeks progress. Coach Massey said on Headliners, he said, our defense seems to be getting a little bit better.
And the thing that has given Kannapolis trouble over the years, Randy, if you can say that kind of a trend, teams that want to play smash mouth with Kannapolis, those are the kind of teams that historically give them trouble. Not that they haven't won their share of those, but those are the kinds of teams that give them trouble.
Well, it'll be Almond keeping it. He faked it to the halfback, and I don't know if that was by design or what, but he made something positive. Going to be near the first down. And I think, yep, they're going to move the chains at the 32-yard line.
Boy, now at the end of this, watch him kind of reach out. But you're right, Randy. This was a design play. He was going to keep that one all the way. But at the end, the little quarterback gets up and helps up Kendall Turner, the linebacker. And you know Turner had to hate that. I mean, here I have a linebacker, and the little quarterback, Allman, at 170 pounds, is reaching down there to help him up.
It's just one of those pride things, I guess.
Well, sportsmanship still is apparent.
First down at the 32-yard line. Allman keeps it again, tries to pick his way. Oh, that hurt. Got 2, maybe 3 yards, but there was a price to pay on that one, as you heard.
Some players traded paint on their helmets on that one. Watch at the end here. Watch their heads butt. Goodness.
I'm done.
Allman that time trying to make a similar move, but he found pretty good containment from Clifford White down at the bottom of your picture, the way he was wanting to go. He didn't get into him to make the play, but he had that lane covered, and it forced Allman to cut it back inside before he wanted to.
Here they go to Roseboro up to the 40-yard line once again between the tackles. And they'll have third and short coming up.
And, you know, you would think, Randy, that this guy we mentioned averaging 27 carries a game in Roseboro. Look at him just fighting right here, just making people move his way. But you'd think 27 carries a game, well, if you stop him, you stop Northwest Cabarrus. But they mix their plays so well. We've seen him drop the nice pass to him. We've seen him come with Waller. We've even seen him throw a nice pass to their linebacker, for goodness sakes. So you can't just key on him. That's what they want you to do. They want you to lose track of where everybody is and which way they're going.
Third down and 2. They hit the middle, and that second effort independent on the spot out to the 43-yard line.
Based on that spot where the referee or the official is from the side, he may have it.
They got it, yep. Well, change the marker.
Check him out again here, fighting for the yardage at the end. Right there, just leaning and stretching, trying to get that last little bit.
They got a good spot to the 43-yard line. Time of possession It is being won definitely by Northwest Cabarrus right now.
Boy, if you would have told Coach Padgett, you get into the second quarter and you've had the ball for like 12 minutes, would you take that? I guarantee you he'd say yes.
Northwest with 7 first downs. Kannapolis has 3. Picks up. And not in my house, says Chad Keller.
He really exploded off the line of scrimmage, Randy. He was standing there waiting on the play when it got to him. Just an outstanding defensive play. Watch Keller. Watch 79 at the left of your picture right there. He was waiting on the play, trying to go to Jackson.
Almost got the handoff.
Wow.
Chad says, enough of this running forward. I'm going to do something kind of stem those momentum so they do get them for a 2-yard loss. Coach Padgett got a smile over there. He said, well, I figured out a way to get number 79 away from the football. Slot on the right. And the ball is loose from center. Big pile. And no signal yet. I think Northwest.
Well, at least from nobody that counts. Yeah, the players are pointing their way.
And the guy in stripes are the ones that count.
I think Allman may have gotten in there and gotten it back, Randy, because he was moving straight sideways along parallel with the line of scrimmage trying to get back to that ball.
He's the first guy to know that it's not coming out from center clean.
Right? And this is where Coach Padgett goes into the playbook and calls crossing pattern to the linebacker.
Yeah, on 3rd and 13, 4 minutes to go in the half, tie game. You're on 40. Sure. Let's see what happens. Careless in motion. Allman looking sidelines and short. Defending on the play, number 8 for Kannapolis, Robert Clark. That pass just never really got there.
And you might say, well, why isn't there a flag? Because clearly there was contact down the field. The difference is, Randy, Robert Clark turned his head and was looking back for the ball, and the officials will let at least a little bit of contact go if they feel that's the case. Watch him looking back here. See that? He's got his eyes on the ball the whole time. He doesn't have to surrender his position.
First time they went to Godwin tonight. He's the big play receiver. Northwest has not had to do this.
Well, guess who?
Low kick. And Allison with the return. Misses. 1 man, 2 man, and then with it, take the knee and get out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
Well, he's able to work for about an extra 8 yards or so there, and who knows how much further back it would have rolled had he not picked it up.
So Kannapolis was still plenty of time.
But now Northwest has taken so much time off the clock that they've really gotten this game at the pace that they wanted.
I believe it's about to go up another gear, though, as the Wonder offense onto the field. They've got the play. Mars making sure he's got all the guys in the backfield. They're working from the eye and send Allison in motion, and he'll get the handoff. 2 guys miss. Allison with speed. Jersey tackle in the 45-yard line, or he was gone.
Randy, my goodness, he made such a move in the backfield, he made Marco Reed just fall down. He was trying to get to him, and he just fell down. Watch 79 here. Right there. He just turned him over with a fake. And here's the surfer riding upfield. That's Bryson Stewart, the linebacker.
Stewart with the Jersey tackle to keep him out of the end zone. 45-yard line of Northwest. Now they give it to the fullback, and King got maybe a yard. Michael Carter there, the linebacker for Northwest. He's been around the football tonight on both sides.
Carter met him right at the line of scrimmage that time, and he tried to maintain his balance, but no such luck there.
Inside, 3 minutes to go, clock running, first half. Well, it's been a good first half. If you like smash mouth football. Ball control. Barr to the air, slant, Allison wide open. Jukes 1 man, well, he thought he had him, but Godwin dared to make sure. That was a clothesline tackle there, wasn't it?
That's just a stop, Randy. Godwin is the defensive back on that play, but he had given Allison a 15-yard cushion that time, Randy. Andre just goes out a few steps and stops. Marr delivers a strike, and then it's just one-on-one. That's exactly what you want to do with him. There's Godwin, who was on the coverage, just giving him a huge cushion. Watch down at the bottom how much space there is. Look at that.
I think Joe says, I'm going to get on his back and ride him.
But, you know, that's not a knock on Joe. If you don't, Allison can just scorch you.
Quick toss to Carter. Gets a block. And we'll go for about 5, 6, maybe 7 yards down inside the Northwest 25-yard line. Wonders was still, I think, all their timeouts left.
There goes Carter in motion, gets the pitch. He gets a nice block out here from Edwards, but then too many white jerseys get there at the end.
Second down and 3 just inside the 24-yard line. King is the lone running back in the backfield. They fake the toss. Marr looking over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Kannapolis. He took it away from 2 guys. Andre Allison with his 6th touchdown catch of the year.
Randy, you want to talk about concentration. There was a lot of traffic in there, and he just plucked it out from between 2 guys. Watch this. Fake the Carter on the play they ran before, and right here he's got Godwin on him, but he just reaches back and pulls it away.
Took the Wonders a little over 2 minutes to score. And now Adam Deloney sets the tee down out of the hold of Marr. Kick is up. And good. 1:22 left. First half. Wonders have reclaimed the lead at 14-7. Woody Drumar with 2 touchdown passes tonight, 12 on the year. That's 5 in the last 2 weeks. And I had a chance to talk to his parents before the game. Nice folks, and they got to be proud of him. But listen to this. Drew's grandparents are here, all the way from Indiana.
Well, that's a road trip.
Bev and Joe Segala are here, and welcome to Wonderland, I guess.
Well, he's putting on a show for him. You mentioned, Randy, all those touchdowns, 5 in the last 2 games. How about 8 in the last 3 games, counting this one?
And we still got a half to go. Kickoff going deep, good kick at the 2-yard line, bobbled by Jackson, picked up, and he's lassoed on the coverage. Peoples down there on the hit.
This is a real dangerous time of the game for Northwest Cabarrus, Randy. Keep in mind that Kannapolis will get the ball first coming out of the locker room. So Northwest now with 118 has to generate at least a couple of first downs, or Kannapolis can just use timeouts, get the ball back, and try to strike quickly. Take a look at the touchdown again here. You see Marr on the fake. The ball just a touch behind Allison, but he's able to get it away from Godwin, and then in spite of all the banging, find his way to the end zone.
Here's Altman with a long count. They'll hand off. Roseboro with a little bit of a hole. The ball comes loose and the battle is on. Looks like Kannapolis may have fell on the football. And they do. That is a huge break for the Wonders. They've just scored. Now, they've got 1 minute and 8 seconds to knock one in here in it. 2 touchdown lead going into halftime.
And then you get the ball coming out of the locker room, and that's exactly what they didn't need to have happen. Roseboro looks like he's going to have room for a big gain here. It looks like a helmet maybe on the ball. No, coming from behind there to knock it out. Looked like it was Shannon Davis who got an arm in there to knock that one out.
Or Shannon Blackman, number 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Here come the Wonders out of the gun. Marr out in the flat. He's got Carter and a blocker. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He's down to the 2. Roseboro on the tackle, or excuse me, number 16 on the tackle, and that was Michael Hamilton.
But what a block downfield, Randy, by Maurice Edwards, number 17, just cleaning out all kinds of room. Try to keep an eye on 17 downfield here. Look at him working the block. And that was a big, big key.
That was Edwards blocking for him. Timeout called. And the Wonders going to talk things over. We've got 59 seconds left in the first half. We'll take a timeout as well here at Memorial Stadium. Kannapolis now, Woody, as we return with a chance to get some momentum, as if they didn't already have it. They got the full house in there, the power eye behind Marr, quarterback. First and goal. It'll be King. He's into the end zone, touchdown. So the Wonders have converted on the turnover. And 2 quick ones here in the last 2 minutes of the first half.
But you have everybody. There's that guy. He's mashed that football down further on his head. He may never get it off. He probably banged it on there with that bell. Look at that.
Definitely surgery might be required.
Goodness. King just found all kinds of room up the middle. It looked like all the defensive pressure went to the outsides and left him some room.
Deloney now has been kicking the ball well. Kicks another one through the heart. The extra point is good. 21-7. Kannapolis up their biggest lead of the night with 55 ticks to go.
Let's take a look at the touchdown again. Right up the middle here. Kannapolis seals it off well. Pretty nice block there on the backside by Josh Reeves, number 5, to help with one of the Northwest players coming down the line of scrimmage.
Well, if you're Glenn Paget, Northwest on the other side, demoralizing the last couple of minutes as we see it from another angle. There's the touchdown with King. Nothing going to stop him.
Not with that much room and that close. But we talked about it being a real dangerous time, Randy. You knew that Northwest didn't really have the offense that was going to go down and score quickly like in the, 147 or whatever it was left. All they wanted to do, I suspect, was run out some clock, get a couple of first downs, and go into the locker room down 7. Instead, now they're down 2 touchdowns. 55 ticks still left on the clock, and Kannapolis is going to get the ball to start the second half.
And unofficially, the Wonders have only had the ball a little over 6 minutes as far as ball possession is concerned this game. So that tells you the quick strike capabilities of the Wonder offense.
Something has gone awry here.
I think...
oh, it was a 1/4 inch too far to the left there. These kickers.
Woody, it's important stuff. You know, Chase Louder is in the zone, and, you know, kickers, I think it's right now. Here we go. Louder. See, look at the difference. Boy, in the end zone. And that's the touchback. They'll bring it back to the 20.
Well, I would have hated to see him kick it with it leaning a 1/4 inch that way then. Who knows what might have happened.
He hadn't been digging it in the end zone. He's been getting it out to about the 2 or 3. So, yeah, that angle makes a difference. Couple of degrees. Next week, of course, headliners as we'll go into the South Piedmont Conference. Big game. Concord and Anson County, E.Z. Smith, and probably a host of Spider assistants will be on hand to talk about the Bearcats and the Spiders, and that one going a long way toward determining perhaps a playoff position in the state playoffs this year. Out to Godwin, and he's tackled after he gets the first down up to the 33-yard line. Shannon Blackman on the coverage for the Wonders. That's Godwin's first catch of the night. Joe coming into tonight's game had caught 20 on the year.
And watch him just stop. He's got a receiver beside him. He stops, fills the lane there, finds a seam, and a nice delivery from Allman.
Hurry up. Here's Allman under heavy pressure over the middle near the first down sticks again. And it is going to be complete this time to number 12, Kent Kempley, the junior.
And this, Randy, even though they're successful so far with it, this is exactly the kind of game Kannapolis wants to get Northwest in. They want them to have to throw to catch back up and not be able to grind it out and keep the ball for long stretches.
The breaks here is they've got first down, so the clock has stopped on the completions. This one will stop as Godwin with his second catch of the series out of bounds at the Wonder 47-yard line.
And Kannapolis right now, you may wonder why Northwest is able to zip down the field, not normally a passing team. Number 1, they're executing well, but number 2, Kannapolis is primarily concerned with not giving up the big play. They've got about 5 or 6 defensive backs in the game now, all keyed on trying to keep the big play from happening here at the end of the half.
And if you're a defensive lineman, all you got to do is rush the passer because you know what's coming. First down with 27 seconds in the first half. Allman cranks it up, got a receiver, laid out, and it's going to be intercepted. Wonders. Robert Clark fighting his way back the other way to the 33-yard line. And Nick Careless, the intended receiver, brought him down, but no flags on that play. That was just a good athletic battle by both.
Now the ball was a little short, and they both go up battling for it, and just nice athletic ability there by Robert Clark, the senior, to take that ball away. Now 13 seconds left, and you got a guy like Allison and Carter and Edwards. You got a chance to get downfield and put more points on the board here. They still got 2 timeouts.
Second turnover of the game. Actually, the second turnover in the last, 3 minutes, 2 minutes plus of this game.
The last 2 possessions for Northwest, and that's big.
You got Allison way to the bottom of your screen. Well, they go to King. He says, man, I'd like to bust out of this thing. You get Dale going full speed, and it's like trying to stop a locomotive. Danny Maindry. And that will do it. It's homecoming 2001 for A.L. Brown High School, and their fans obviously happy. A lot more happier than they were just a couple of minutes ago as they tack on 2 extra touchdowns in the closing minutes of the first half. They lead it 21-7 as they go to the break. Our halftime score here at A.L. Brown's Memorial Stadium. Yeah, there's our customary wave. We've got, it's kind of like the chain crew, got to get our appearance in here in the game. That's our long shot there by, once again, our intern, Robert Stuck. Let's take a look at some of the first half numbers, Woody.
Well, you see there, a lot of the numbers look fairly even. If you had those numbers going in all the way down there, the turnover stat, you might think this was a three-point game or something like that. Kannapolis with 3 penalties that hurt them a little bit, but the main thing, those 2 turnovers, the last 2 offensive possessions for Northwest Cabarrus turned disastrous for them there.
Let's look at kind of recap the keys from the first half, and for the most part, maybe the first 22 minutes of the game, it looked kind of like the game plan was going next to best there.
Well, we saw Carter with the speed kills down the sidelines, tiptoeing in for the score. We said Northwest Cabarrus did keep the ball for long stretches. They did chew up the clock. They did get points out of it, but the 2 turnovers killed them. Staying home on defense so far, Kannapolis has been able to do that with the exception of the 1 drive. Northwest Cabarrus has the problem sealing the ends because once Kannapolis gets the corner, they are really dangerous.
And congratulations, there she is, the A.L. Brown Homecoming Queen 2001, Tabitha Musselwhite, crowned here at halftime. A happy night, and that's a memory that will stay with her, and she'll tell her grandchildren about that. Boy, I was the prettiest girl.
I haven't seen that many flowers since Mother's Day.
We'll be back with the second half kickoff here at Memorial Stadium in just a minute. Randy Whitley live with Woody Kane and the entire Metro production staff on hand. The cheerleaders.
What was that on TV? She was camera shy.
Usually it's the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah, they always want to say hi to Doug, our program director, which, boy, I certainly can't understand that kind of hooey.
Well, I don't know. He's got that woodsy look now.
Yeah, the chia pet growing out of his face is what he's got.
Yeah.
But that time she knew better and just stayed out of the picture.
Mike Crutchfield will kick it off to start the second half for Northwest. Of course, Northwest
Short kick last time.
Yep. And it's a little pooch kick. Going to be at the 40. Kannapolis will have great field position. As a matter of fact, about one more block there, and he could have took the mailback back to the Northwest 49-yard line, and it was Marisa Edwards. You want to kick it to somebody other than the guys who've got a little speed, but Kannapolis was expecting it, so they had some personnel up there in the right area.
Well, again, Randy, that's the respect they're giving to Allison and Carter. Rather than let them touch it, they'd rather just pooch it over the initial wave and take what they can get. But this is going to give them an excellent field position.
Wonder offense on the field, led by Marr, who had a couple of touchdown passes in the first half. And they'll give it to Edwards. And he does lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he made it. Maybe he lost a yard on the play. Craig Watson, one of the defensive linemen, 99, big guy there, making the tackle.
Watch him just come right through here. Well, actually, he waited until the back came through and then just kind of plucked him out of the sky.
Easy for him to do. Pretty good sized young man. 310 pounds, folks.
Yikes.
Second down and 11 at midfield. Out of the shotgun, out to Carter. He jukes, tries to get to the outside, gets a block. And if you heard that,
how could you not?
Oh, man. Got to be near a first down.
And Randy, Northwest had 3 white jerseys out there in front of Carter, and he was able to run around all of them. Watch this. Look at him. He realizes now he's got 3 players there, and he just runs around them all. Almost got one of the coaches over there, look like.
And our camera guys.
No, Rob knew where to be. He was out of the picture there. He was giving it to us.
Third and short. Mark going over the top. He's laying it out. He's got Carter wide open. Touchdown Wonders. No flags down. A 39-yard touchdown pass, the third one of the night for Drew Marr. And the second touchdown reception of the night for Chris Carter.
Well, they've been faking this pitch, sometimes coming back inside with the counter. This time, Marr takes a step back, pops up, and lofts it to Carter, who is 5 yards behind the nearest defender. I was trying to see what that was written on his arm. Looked like he and Allison have something written on their arm.
Now, Adam Deloney, the senior, kicks it through, and he's been perfect on the night. Just like that, the Wonders take 57 seconds off the clock and add 7 more to the scoreboard. They lead it 28-7. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. The Wonders have padded their lead, and they have done it despite controlling the ball tonight for only about 7 minutes. Northwest has won that battle as far as possession is concerned, but the quick strike capability is the kick going to the 1 yard line, and it will be returned. Coming out with it is Roseboro out to the 25 yard line.
Right now, 3 Wonders got down past the initial wave. I don't know how Roseboro got by. Let's take a look at that replay again on the touchdown. We mentioned that Drew Marr sells the fake here. Watch him. Watch him duck and then pop up. He draws in the coverage, and that enables Carter to get behind it.
We mentioned his grandparents. Boy, they're going to say, we might just stay down here from Indiana. Allison, he's caught a touchdown pass tonight. Carter's got 2 touchdown receptions. And there was a dead ball foul against the Wonders at the point of tackle, so tack on the yardage, 15 yards. Northwest will have good field position to start their first drive of the second half at their own 40. Do you break the game plan now if you're Coach Patchett?
I don't think so yet.
Quick toss, good block. Roseburg can get it back in a hurry. He's written out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
Right, he's getting a little pushing and shoving over there out of bounds from Shannon Blackman and didn't like it too much when he popped up. But Roseboro had a nice wall in front of him that time, enables him to get the corner. Look here. You see pulling there in the middle of your picture was Todd Dry, the guard, number 66. And here's the end of the play, what we were talking about. And look who's the coolest head in the bunch coming in there was Robert Clark to keep everybody apart. He's already got an interception tonight.
2nd and 3. Nothing much. Maybe the line of scrimmage as Philip Jackson.
Started outside, tried to bounce it back up in and couldn't get there. Now he's got some tape on this arm with something written on it, but on the other arm, he and Carter have something written, looks like in white, but I can't read what's written on the tape there, but I'm telling you what, if you don't see him now, you won't, because usually when you look at him, you're watching the back of his jersey and that 22 getting smaller.
Kind of a green blur that goes by, isn't it?
Yeah.
On 3rd down, nothing there. Annapolis, whatever adjustments were to be made, I think the Wonder defense interior line has made them. There you see number 11 for Annapolis, Dwayne McClure.
Looked like Norris was right in the middle of that too, like a big ram right there.
Yeah.
Man.
It's kind of a wedge there. Chad Keller, always around the football, number 79. Punting time for the Trojans.
And be another game of don't kick it to Andre Allison.
He's back at about the 25-yard line. 4 touchdown returns this year at punt and kickoff returns, so a specialist, I guess you could say, in that department. It's short, takes a bounce. Now we'll just kind of wobble out there and be down finally at the 23-yard line. So Allison didn't get a chance to touch the ball, but the Wonders offense will.
He looks so disappointed when he doesn't get a chance either. And there was nothing he could really do with that one. The coverage was down there good. The ball came right over the top of their helmets. And the best thing for him to do is exactly what he did, just stay away from it.
Kind of reminds me of the days of when they never would kick to Dick Maddox either.
Yeah.
Don't forget headliners Wednesday night, 8 o'clock live in our studio. Concord and Anson County, our game of the week. Easy Smith and staff will be in there. We get to be homers, I guess, so to speak. They won't get that game down in Anson County, so we'll talk about that big game in the South Piedmont Conference next week. Looks like Marr.
Something. Right when they got ready to snap that ball, the official came running in there and something wasn't right, and then Marr immediately called timeout.
We've got a break with 9:41 left here in the third period. Now the referee, Jim Wall, is talking to the officials.
And Glenn Padgett is coming all the way out onto the field to ask for an explanation there, and he wants to know what happened.
Does Kannapolis get charged with a timeout, or is that an official's timeout? Well, apparently,
there's Padgett there, just coming back.
It's kind of hot there. Don't know if he got what he wanted as far as an explanation is concerned, but they will not take the full timeout. I think we're ready for action now. Wonders, 1st and 10 at their 23. Marr thought about the pitch, and will have to keep it, and will go down after about a yard gain. Well, over there defensively with 73, Danny Mandarin.
He wanted that pitch, Randy, but the reason, watch number 6, Dominic Jackson, right here. He comes in and keeps that play from happening. He's in the lane where Marr would have wanted to go.
And he pitched it, Jackson would have got the ball.
Going the wrong way.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Bickerstaff and Allison are the wides, along with Edwards. Number 17 split out on 2nd and 10. Here's the pitch this time, going to Carter. Waiting on the block, now reverses his field. There's a flag. Gets a block from the quarterback. And finally, a big pop. Man, that hurt.
Wow, Randy!
Out to the 27, 28-yard line. And let's hope everybody gets up in one piece.
I'll tell you, these kids are resilient, but just to hear that, man.
Well, it will, needless to say, probably be against Kannapolis when he changed the change directions. There you get the block in the back or the clip.
You got just a glimpse of our intern Rob Stuck there. He's got that microphone, and he was right in the thick of that play. See it on top of the camera there? He was right in the thick of the play and brought you that collision. My goodness.
And hats off to Beth Klutz, who's down there. She's kind of blocking. Maybe, well, pulling that cable down there.
The penalty is going to be against Kannapolis. They're talking about the spot now, trying to determine where they want to put it.
Well, from the point of the foul, they'll step it off. The original line of scrimmage was the 23-yard line.
All right, here's the signal now from Jim Wall.
Oh. They're going to decline it.
Well, there's another one, remember. There were 2 flags.
Yeah, they're going to take the clip.
Yeah. We've got a couple of looks at this here to show you what happened. It'll happen up at the top of your picture here. There's going to be maybe the hold, and then there was a clip. You can see them both, yep.
And now here's the hit.
Oh, man.
Did Dominic Jackson, he's probably seeing.
Take a look at it again here. Watch up at the top. Right there, 17, there's the hold, and then right there was the clip.
And then Dominic Jackson got up. He was seeing 2 Carters after that hit. Ball loose on the ground. Edwards.
I think
Finally
he
got it, but he's down. Did the momentum carry him into the end zone? No, I don't think so. They're going to say right inside the 1-yard line. That almost a safety, Woody. Almost a touchdown for Northwest, too.
Sure was. Good speed for Edwards to get back. Watch the pitch a little bit behind him. The pitch before that to Carter was a little bit behind him, too. And Edwards was scrambling so hard he just couldn't get back to his feet to go after it.
And the momentum, once the pile kind of slid into the end zone, but they'll bring it back to the 1-yard line. Well, here we go, Coach. 3rd and 31.
I don't have that play.
Well, they're going to send Allison wide. 1 setback. And they'll quick it.
Edwards.
Here's Edwards with a block. To the outside. Flag is down. Edwards bumped around, still on his feet. I don't think they ever did get him out. They got him out of bounds, but never off his feet at about the 28-yard line. Pretty good run there.
And this one toward the line of scrimmage, so it's going to come back. Looks like illegal use of hands, the call.
Well, the thing about it is they only get penalized half the distance to the goal line. They don't lose a lot of your real estate because there's not a lot left.
So that's going to be a penalty of about 1.5 yards.
Maybe a half
a yard. Yeah, they're already at the 1.
They get penalized again, they won't have any further. They can't go back any further. Let's see exactly how far the ball will be.
Now watch this. They seal it off nicely for Edwards there, and he just uses speed to get through, and then at the end, just fighting his way. The penalty's already happened here. This is just individual effort. And look who's still up top.
Still got that white hat on. Oh, by the way, Ron, you're watching this game. You were dressed rather dapper tonight.
Yeah,
He looked good.
I saw him down on the field before the game. He told us last year. Now wait a minute. Where are we going here with the ball? They're going to take the play and lose the down, so that'll bring up what, 4th?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to just decline the penalty for all intents and purposes where we're at.
Northwest needs the football to score.
Right.
So with that, the Northwest punt receiving unit will come onto the field. And for Kannapolis, it'll be Daniel Smith. Joe Godwin is the deep back at about the Northwest 40. Daniel Smith. His leg just getting stronger and stronger has been a plus for Kannapolis in the kicking department. Look at this view. Way back. Godwin at the 31. Slips, and that's where he'll go down. 33-yard line.
A flag comes in late.
I don't know if that was a late hit or not. But
It was upfield about 10 yards over toward the Northwest sidelines. There you see it. That may be one of those personal foul deals, because it was away from the ball.
Here's the call. Clip against Northwest.
And you know, what did that gain? You don't get anything from that block downfield, because I mean, I know the blocker didn't realize it, but your punt receiver has already fallen down. The play's over.
Boy, what a strange game this has been. A game of momentum. Keep in mind, 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. This game was tied at 7. Northwest looked to have all the momentum, had the ball deep in their territory as it was, had held Kannapolis and got the ball after time to score it. Then the fumble.
And then another one.
And then another one. And
the other one. That was the interception.
All of a sudden, it's 21-7 at half. And right now, Northwest has not been able to get anything doing, except the penalties might be helping them here. It looks like a face mask.
Well, you could see Roseborough's head just snap around as he got close to the line of scrimmage. And I don't know, actually, Randy, if they got him on the pads or the face mask, but I'm sure the official was reacting to the way Shelton Roseborough's body moved when he got into that pile.
I look at again the 15-yard variety on this one.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Right there, you can see the hand on it. It was a face mask, but it was the part that attaches to the side of the helmet, not on front like you normally see them.
But at any rate, it will be first down and 10 for Northwest Cabarrus.
6 penalties, 57 yards for Kannapolis. Northwest only has 1 penalty in the game so far.
Trojans break the huddle with their own 34-yard line. Allman trying to get outside. The Wonders wouldn't let him. Coming in there first was 34, Andrew King. Nice play.
And that was where they had done a couple of times in the first half. Allman fakes it, then tries to go around the end with it himself, but no such luck. Just storming in from the linebacker spot was King, the junior.
Shannon Davis over there to help him mop up as well. 6.5 to go, third period. Allman now on 2nd and 12 to the air. Lays it out to Godwin. He's got it. Keeps his balance and keeps going forward across the 40-yard line.
What a nice play, because he got a pretty good pop from Terry Collins and was able to maintain his balance. He's Northwest's leading receiver. Watch this. Watch him take the pop and keep his balance.
Good hands. If it's around those big old hands there, he'll catch it most of the time.
And he's not a guy that's going to, get the ball on a little 5-yard slant and then burn you with 4.3 speed going into the end zone. He's a possession-type receiver. Sure hands. Always seems to be able to find a seam to get open to the defense. Looking to have his 2nd straight year as the Trojans' leading receiver.
And we've got a timeout call by Northwest. So with 5:41 left in the third period, Kannapolis in control right now. They lead it 28-7. Has become a landmark in Kannapolis, affectionately known as Plumber's Perch. Hardest ticket in town to get.
Now, what's that little red T down there? What's that all about?
That's a pumpkin.
A pumpkin?
It looks like a pumpkin.
Looks like a T.
Well, maybe they let the Trojan fans sit up there too.
Well, Roseboro trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and didn't get much.
That does look like a cheat. That would be kind of a contradiction there. Yeah, it is.
I don't know what that is.
Well, wait, hey, look at this. That's a, okay. That's a
Northwest fan?
Yeah, Northwest fan. Maybe the first time in history.
The ball came loose, Randy. Kannapolis has gotten it. I didn't see the ball come out, nor any of the officials throw their beanbags in there to mark it, but they say Kannapolis comes out with it.
Now the turnover for Northwest Cabarrus. Third one of the night. 2 fumbles now and 1 interception. It's the Runner offense led by Drew Marr, who's had a great night. Will have his offense set now at the Northwest 43-yard line.
Marr has to come out to give Edwards the signal there. Now they're set.
Edwards will go in motion. Play fake. Time over the middle. 1 hop to Allison. Had a couple of receivers in the area, but just short hopped it.
Marr took a big pop at the end of that play. I think it was Jackson storming through there, really laid it on him. Marr had to wait a while for that play to develop on the fake, and then just storming through there was Jackson to lay a lick on him.
And I think he's okay.
Take a look. I mean, after this play, we can take a look. Let's take a look at that fumble again and see where it came out from Roseboro here.
After apparently somebody stole it down there in the pile. You know. Marr sucks him in on the screen over the middle. Allison is open. He's still open. Cuts it to the outside. He will score.
Speed kills, Randy. Speed kills.
They spread him out. Got the defense in. The screen pass over the middle. Run to perfection.
Well, you had Anthony Yanni, the linebacker, coming hard on a blitz from the bottom of the picture there. But that's what they wanted, just to lob it over his head. Then where he is not covered. Watch 44 coming in right here. Lob it right over his head. And now Allison just jukes, turns on the speed. He looks like he's just jogging, Randy, but he's running away from people.
Unreal. Marr on the night, 8 of 12, 197 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
Deloney again perfect on the PAT, and with 5:15 to go in the third, it's turned it into a rout for the Wonders. They lead it 35-7. As we return to Memorial Stadium, Wonders in control right now with 2 second-half touchdowns.
Randy, I think I got to apologize. I'm alphabetically challenged. Our stat man, Steve Gant, points out the meaning of the T. I didn't get it. Northwest, of course. Trojans, duh.
Yeah, it's a bipartisan perch tonight.
Yeah, well, wait a minute. Don't act like you had it covered. You thought it was a pumpkin.
Well, you're right. You're exactly right. Oh, man.
Roseboro.
Northwest will set up shop at the 25-yard line. Well, that's the first time I've ever seen both teams.
I mean, that's pretty much blasphemy, isn't it? How do you allow that to happen? I mean, did he, like, storm the beaches and climb up there and stake his claim, or how did that happen, I wonder?
Well, you look at the size of the K versus the T.
This is the touchdown again. The screen set up. Allison with all kinds of room. But look how easily and smoothly he's running, Randy, just getting away from people.
Just glide. It's not even in the 4th gear. Northwest at the 25-yard line. Allman to the air, looks for Godwin on the out, got it at the 30 and is punished at the 32.
How many hits can a guy take on one play?
Yeah, well, we count them. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, Terry Collins is the guy who's been covering him all night, and he just couldn't get Godwin down. Collins, 5'9", 145 pounds. Godwin, 6'2", 175. And watch Joe just trying to get away at the end here. Here's Collins trying to get him more help.
2,
more
3,
help.
4 guys. So they got about 8 on the play.
And Collins there at a little bit of a disadvantage trying to cover him. He's giving up about 5 inches and about 30 pounds.
Roseboro looking for the first down stick, and I think he's got it out across the 35.
And that's a mark of a good back there. Shelton Roseboro, one of the best in the area, ready. 3-year starter. He knows where he has to get to realizes he's going to have to take the lick, lowers his shoulder, makes the pile fall his way, keeps possession for his team.
Northwest not really out of this game yet, but 4 touchdowns down. They need to make something happen, at least on this possession here.
And the problem is, Randy, they haven't shown the ability to score quickly.
Here's Almond on first down to the air. Got a receiver open and slipping off a tackle. They'll get about 9 yards that time, up to the 45-yard line. Cabarrus with the catch.
But I'll tell you who you got to give a lot of credit to is Shelton Roseboro. Normally the offensive star for this team stays in here and makes a great block right there, picks up the blitz, and gives Almond time to deliver the ball.
Correction, my apologies. It was Brian Roseboro on the catch, number 86.
I wonder if he and Shelton are related.
Well, good possibility.
You know, you see Shelton Roseboro there at the extreme left of your picture. A lot of backs, when they don't get the ball, they don't, you know, carry on with everything that's supposed to happen. But he kept his head in the game there, knew he was responsible for picking up that blitz, and gave his quarterback the time to deliver that ball. That's just an outstanding senior play.
Second out and short. Roseboro. Second effort, leans forward, and I think it will have enough for the first down. Out to about the 47-yard line. They'll move the sticks with 3:24 to go in the third.
Boy, check out big Ryan Spinell. We talked about him when we were showing you the starting lineups. Big number 65 there was in the middle of your picture. 6'4", 310.
Still growing, probably.
I bet his parents hope he'll quit.
Yeah. Almond will all day. Fly, batted down in the last minute. Robert Clark got back. Intended that time, or Kent Capley down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, he's had a fine game over there on that side. Has already 1 interception. He had a nice play earlier right in the jersey of Godwin, who was on that side. All kinds of time for Almond, but they just can't seem to get away from Mr. Clark.
They're throwing at one of the strong points in that secondary.
The Wonders really coming up tight on that coverage. See how close all their defensive backs are?
Get it out to Cabarrus this time. He's got some one-on-one, but the Wonders converge quickly at midfield. Daniel Brown over there would not give up. And he had help also from Terry Collins on the play. They strung him out laterally pretty good that time.
Here you see the spread here, and all the Wonder defensive backs are up close. And that keeps it from being anything more than just a couple of yard gain.
Just shy of midfield. And it's third down coming up. The line to make the Wonder 42.5-yard line. Almond, blitz, he's down. There's the sack, and Norris will give him credit for that sack.
He may not have been the guy who did it, but he looked like he was the first one there anyway. But there were green jerseys all over the place.
They inched up, and got him.
Actually, it looked like the first guy there may have been Dwayne McClure, the linebacker.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Dwayne kind of got lost in the big guys. He got him down low. That'll force Northwest into another punting situation at Crutchfield, making sure he's got 10 guys on the field, counting them. And let's see if he kicks to Allison. Crutchfield will get it off at about the 35. Good kick. Allison driven back. Will have a return at the 15. Sidesteps one man. Sidesteps another. And is out of bounds. At the 31-yard line. Made something out of nothing there on the return.
He just makes that first move, that step after his fake, after his cut, so quickly. You're just waving in air when he goes by it. He looked like he thinks he's just going to kind of drift over toward the sidelines and then try to go with a burst of speed. He makes a little jab step, almost like you see in basketball, comes back the other way and leaves people just befuddled.
Jonathan Peoples is in now in the Wonder backfield. He's the tailback. Dale King is the fullback. They'll have 3 wide receivers here. And a new quarterback is Edwards, who's in running things this series. At the 33-yard line, he'll keep it. Gives him that dimension of more of a run-oriented quarterback with Edwards at that slot.
And you'd have to figure here, Randy, with a 4-touchdown lead, as you mentioned, you see Edwards. You'd have to figure the Wonders are not going to be fooling around and putting the ball in the air too much now. So you play ball control with a guy like Edwards.
They can maybe think he's Woody Dantzler.
Yeah. Well, Carter's on the sidelines.
I fake to the fullback, and here goes Edwards off to the races. He'll have the first down up to the 45-yard line. Good fake that time. And Edwards kept it.
You know, when we started talking about Kannapolis and they had the injuries and they weren't able to do what they wanted, you know, a lot of people from all these other teams didn't feel too sorry for him. But now you're starting to see what Coach Massey had envisioned at the beginning of the year. He knew he had a big handful of very talented skill players, and he would be able to stretch defenses, spread the field out. Now that he's starting to get those guys back and healthy, you see all the options he has.
Speaking of option, to Peoples. And a good tackle. Back at the 40-yard line. It was number 6, Dominique Jackson. Would not buy the fake. Here we see it again.
And good coverage as well on the quarterback there. That's what you got to do, seal everybody up on that option. But Mr. Jackson's had a pretty good game tonight of his own.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have 3 periods history here at Memorial Stadium. We'll walk it to the other end. Fourth quarter coming up. Wonders with a 35-7 advantage. Pretty good looking grass there. That is our mower cam tonight.
We've got all kinds of stuff, though. All kinds of
All
technology.
those little gadgets we're bringing out tonight. Edwards on the quarterback draw. Got to about the 46-yard line.
And his job on a play like this, Randy, is to pop up back there and sell the defense that it's going to be a pass and then take off. He was a little anxious to run that time and had to pick his way through a lot of traffic. Watch him here. He's got to sell him.
Almost lost his footing completely there as he was backpedaling.
Yeah.
Well, we know he can pass. We saw him throw a touchdown pass on the halfback or the option play against South Rowan a couple weeks ago. Bickerstaff, along with Charlie Fox, who has been injured all year. He is back, Woody, and he's a wide receiver.
Normally he's a defensive back.
Edwards, complete. Oh, they say incomplete. At about the Northwest 42.
The Wonder sidelines really thought he had it.
Charlie Fox, a 3-year starter on defense, injured in the preseason, or I should say early in the year, was not expected to be back at all this year as a flag was down at about midfield. There you see it. So that's bodes even more experience for the Wonders.
And that is going to be a few yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Was it illegal, somebody downfield? We'll see.
Could be. You're right.
Does Northwest take the play? Yeah, they're going to decline it. It'll be 4th down anyway. So Daniel Smith on the punt. Just over 11 minutes left in this one. Smith with all day. Kicks this one up. Signaling for a fair catch and making it at about the 24-yard line. There's Godwin.
You know, Randy, we keep going back to those turnovers. Those were the real turning point in the game. As you mentioned, gave Kannapolis a couple of scores right before halftime there, and they get the ball first coming out of the locker room, score again, and they are off to the races. The time of possession has been great. As you get a good look on the sidelines at Dwayne McClure, the linebacker, but Northwest just has not been able to get points.
And they're not going to get anywhere this time. Maybe a yard. And that's about it for Cabarrus.
Going up to 10 minutes to go in the game, and this points out the problem that we discussed earlier. Northwest wants to keep the ball long stretches, take time off the clock and score, but when you're down this far, you don't have that option.
Kannapolis kind of dictating, the score dictating what they do. Quick toss to Roseboro, trying to get outside, and slips as he makes his cut at about the 29-yard line. It'll bring up third down.
Coach Paget started off with his team like a house of fire. Won 4 out of their first 5 games. And then things really started to turn south on them when they ran into Mooresville.
Yeah, Mooresville was, a lot of things turned sour when everybody's played Mooresville this year.
Kannapolis will get their chance next week.
Straight drop. Allman over the middle. And almost picked up, but a hard hit by Godwin on the defensive back, Sean Johnson.
My goodness. Joe Godwin plays defensive back, and he turned into one there in the middle of the play. Watch the pop at the end here. Oh! And then wants to give him the stare down. My goodness.
And you want your sons to grow up to be wide receivers and defensive backs.
And the way Coach Paget is reacting there, he may be saying that Godwin was not in the right spot. Look who's back here to take this punt.
Wonder's coming, but the punt off, and Allison can't get out of the hole that time at the 44-yard line.
It was looking like Bryson Stewart, the linebacker, right there, 45 was the first guy down.
Well, 10:07 left. That'll be the Wonders on offense, and they're on 44.
And it looks like they're going to stick with Edwards at the quarterback spot. Still got Dale King in there. Haven't seen Rock Johnson, and I don't see him on the sidelines anywhere.
I don't think he dressed tonight. Not sure if it was an injury or some other problem, some other reason. People's in motion. He'll get tossed to the left side. Blockers in front. Boy, he met a wall of white shirts there at about the 48.
Well, I don't know if the first guy there was Michael Carter, but he sure was in on the play, and they sealed that one off very effectively. Not as easy to get the corner when you're not Chris Carter, is it?
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Sure does. Let's see who it is.
Nothing against that young man, but
couldn't pick up the number who the first Trojan defender was. But a fine play nonetheless to seal that one off.
we'll give him 3 on the play. The Wonders out of the I formation this time. Edwards rolls and a flag. Somebody might have been in motion.
Well, it looked like you had a little bit of confusion with Northwest. You had Bryson Stewart, the linebacker, was down at the bottom of the picture. And Kannapolis is indeed going to get called for illegal procedure, but he was out toward the sideline like they were going to have double coverage on a receiver. At the last minute, he came sprinting back up toward the ball.
So it costs the Wonders 5 back to their 42-yard line. And we'll set up second and 12. Single back this time, and they toss it to Peoples. Cuts it in, and got back about what the penalty got him. To the 44-yard line. You got Derek Williams in.
Well, look at you. You got a bunch of new faces in for Kannapolis. One of them in there, Randy, big number 76 for Kannapolis. Randy Sloop, 5'9", 302 pounds, and a junior. And you know his parents are hoping he'll stop growing.
Coach Massey says, I'll take that over to football. That's a good, the center, 300 pounds, then you go from there, right?
That's
on the
a
offensive
wall.
line. Play fake. Edwards sells it pretty good, and then one guy hits him. Edwards keeps his feet. They finally bring him down at the 35-yard line. Too many Trojans in the backfield, but how did Edwards not go down on that first hit?
He really did a good job of selling the fake, Randy. He had all kinds of room on the outside, but watch Jackson, Dominic Jackson, coming in right here. And somehow Edwards gets away, and then 2 or 3 more Trojans come in. Finally, Bryson Stewart finishes him off, and Coach Massey, when he's up on top, I'd like to see what their record is, because it seems like every time he goes up there, they play well.
A little superstition, perhaps. Oh, yeah.
Well, he told us last year he felt like he could really get a better feel for what was going on the field from up there.
One hopper, Daniel Smith, and there's the flag. Roughing the punter. Roughing the kicker will be the call. He was lucky to get it off, and then a wave of Trojans knocked him to the ground. There wasn't no act that time.
Now, I don't think that's an automatic first down, is it? Isn't that just a yardage?
We'll see. Not sure that rule is different.
Let's see. Watch him here. Boom.
I don't think the Northwest defender was blocked into him.
I'm trying to remember back to the Bell game because we had a couple of these in that one, and I'm thinking that it was just yardage. I'm not thinking that it was automatic first down, but we'll see.
He just coming off from the line of scrimmage. It was 4th and 18 on the punt. They need to get to the Northwest 47-yard line to keep the ball.
And there, the punt unit is still there, so it's not going to be an automatic.
It's only a 5-yarder. And they're saying inadvertent. I don't know.
Well, it looked like he tried to hold up at the end.
And the officials are closer, obviously, on the field than we are. So they get a 5-yard. That's the less severe of the penalties. So Smith hopes he gets a better snap this time, and he does. And a much better kick. Bouncing and taken at the 23-yard line, and Godwin gets out of that. Then his neck goes back as he's hit by a couple of green shirts. Terry Collins finished him off at about the 27, 28-yard line. Man, that stung me up here.
And I don't know how in the world he got away from Josh Reeves, who was the first guy down there. But Collins came up at the end to make sure that things were going to stop right there.
We've got 7:09 left in this game.
Randy, there have been some wicked pops in this game.
They like each other.
They don't.
Well, now tomorrow night, you go down to Concord Mills, you'll see them all at the movie together, see?
Yeah.
Northwest out maybe to the line of scrimmage. That's about it for Roseboro.
Well, we've seen the things that the coaches talked about in the pregame really come to life here. We heard Coach Padgett telling us on headliners he was concerned about speed. Kannapolis has shown you why. He said we need time of possession, but they haven't been able to generate points out of it. We heard Coach Jeremy Ryan talking about turnovers would be a big key. His team has generated 3.
Quick toss, Roseburg cuts it inside and gets some good yardage out across the 35 to the 37. And will be near the first down marker. I think he did pick up enough for it.
I think big Omar Osuda, 270 pounds, was the first guy there. Watch number 70 and see if he finishes this one. Roseboro picking his way back up to the middle, and there's Osuda at the bottom to finish it.
Shelton knows he's had a decent game tonight.
And you know, Randy, Shelton Roseboro runs like a big back, you know, like a smash mouth type back, but he's not really that big. You look at his numbers, and he's only 5'10", 170 pounds.
He'll get the quick handoff, and he's going to hold up the middle. That's where he's dangerous. Gets down to the under 45-yard line.
Well, he just was clawing and scratching and getting grass under his fingernails trying to get extra yardage on that.
Watching the progression of this young man since he was a sophomore. He's taking everybody on now. There was a time when maybe he wouldn't turn it up against the big guys and use his athletic ability, but now a senior, you can see the maturity of that young man.
And he knows where to go now. When he was a sophomore, he showed us flashes, but back then he was trying to do most of it on physical ability alone. Now he's got that experience and has a good head on his shoulders to help him.
Allman hit as he throws, and it's one hopped out there. It'll be incomplete. Brian Roseboro, the intended receiver. Clock will stop with 5:28 to go in the game.
Had Dwayne McClure coming in with some heavy pressure from the linebacker spot to get up on Allman.
Yeah, you're up 28 points, and you know your team. Well, let's see if this is a passing situation here. They got 4 wide receivers out in the pattern. Quick pass, complete. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Eric Darsow with the catch. Daniel Brown with the tackle. No gain.
Just didn't have anywhere to go. Nice coverage. Kannapolis has been playing up tight on the Northwest receivers all night.
And the quarterback, I understand, took a pretty good hit. Let's see.
Take a look at Allman at 11 here. Oh, he had just unhindered coming through there was Kendall Turner, the linebacker.
Like, take a step, throw, and
You better.
count your feelings.
Yeah.
3rd down and 10. Roseboro about 3, and there's a late flag, and that's got to be in the face mask for Ryan. He dropped in that area.
Well, I think they might have been downfield a little bit where there was some pushing and shoving, but you might be right. Let's see. They did throw the flags at the pile.
Personal foul, yep. Was that the 5-yard guard variety, as you say?
I don't know. Not when they call it a personal foul. I think you get the big one for that.
And they throw the flag a little bit further downfield.
The official was marking off the yardage, and one of the other officials picked up his flag and threw it at him as he was running down the field.
They just going all over the place out there. And one of the Wonder defensive linemen picks it up and gives it to the official.
Trying to keep that as a souvenir.
Well, I don't think so. That might be a personal foul if you put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
1st and 10 Trojans, 1-28. Roseboro again trying to get out. Got about 2 maybe.
Well, this is exactly how the Trojans wanted to play this game, Randy. This kind of drive, we've seen it 3 or 4 times tonight. Unfortunately, only 1 touchdown, unfortunately for them, out of it. That speed, they just could not contain Kannapolis' speed. And then, of course, as we mentioned, the turnovers just really took away a lot of chances.
4 minutes to go in the game. All into the air, hit. Is it a fumble or a forward pass? Josh Reeves with the pop from behind. And they're going to say incomplete pass. Well, you know they're going to say a fumble. It was a fumble. I was saying, there's no way he had time to actually get into the throwing motion.
Alan Clark, the defensive lineman, came out of there with it, but right there, Josh Reeves, watch 5. Allman never sees it.
And it looked like the 4th turnover of the night. And the Wonder offense back on the field. A lot of new faces, as we may mention. Edwards has been in the last 3 series after Drew Marr put on a clinic. And that quarterbacking.
And I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Dale King here.
Yep, give it to the big fullback and let him get some yards. Anthony Yanni in there with the tackle.
And inside 4 minutes now, there's King. Remember, we saw him in the Bell game, and then I think he had gotten hurt in that game and missed the next one, right? And then Rock Johnson came back. Now Rock goes back out, and King comes back in.
Nice to have 2 guys, though, like that at the fullback position. Solid performers here. Dale 5'7", 170-pound senior. And the toss will go to Peoples. Flag is down. Peoples trying to get around the corner and does. Carries folks in front of the Northwest bench. And here's Jim Wall. There's the personal foul.
Block below the waist. Chop block.
3:05 to go, 4th period. Well, the penalty has pushed the Wonders back to their own 14-yard line, Woody. They've got a 2nd and 23, but I don't think they really care. They're just worried about that final 3:05 going off the clock here. They've got a 28-point lead. They had led 21-7 at halftime.
And the officials are stopping play. They're trying to make the Kannapolis sidelines get away from the sidelines. The coaches and players all crowding along the sidelines there, and they're trying to make them back up.
Well, you want to get as good a view as you can. There you see it. They got to get them behind that line.
And Jim Wall, the referee, comes over to glare at him a little bit.
And as soon as the men in stripe turn their backs, our Coach Massey has come down to the sidelines near the end of this game. And as soon as they turn their backs, they'll creep back up.
Oh, yeah.
Oops. Now, who jumped?
Marco Reed came across and made contact, but did Kannapolis move first?
Marco pretty sure and was probably guessing there was some movement here. Yep, you can see
there was
it.
some movement, but they're going to call it on Northwest Cabarrus. It looked like one of the Wonders flinched there right in front of Marco Reed, and he came across to make sure everybody saw it.
It looked like Scotty Atwell may have moved just a little bit, but heck, it wasn't much. There's Coach Massey on the sidelines, and got to be happy with his.
He looked worried with a 4-touchdown lead, didn't he?
I'll tell you.
I guess that's a coach face.
Edwards options at the last minute. Little pitch, Peoples around the corner and brought down from behind at the 35-yard line. They got Jonathan out there where he could operate a little bit.
That ball came out of there so late, Randy. I thought he had fumbled it or something the way it came out. Look at this.
Waited to the last minute.
It just looked strange the way it came out of there, but he knew what he was doing.
Well, when you execute it like that, it looks pretty, but sometimes you put it on the ground too. That ain't so pretty. 2.5 to go, clock running. Kannapolis now faced with 3rd and 3 at their own 35. Well, we'll call it 3rd and 4. They need to get just over the 38-yard line. They'll toss it to Peoples. He's got a block. He's got the first down, and they'll keep the ball out to the 42-yard line.
He tried to fall down twice on the turf back there, just couldn't quite find the ground.
Tell you what, they got good grass here. Having that Eric Stadium stuff.
Right there, but just keeps his balance and finds the first down markers.
But was it Coach Massey or whether they could have said, hey, give us $50,000, we'll put in some good, real good grass.
Yeah.
Guarantee we can make it green.
Those are all the numbers that are important right there.
Kannapolis with 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter, actually scoring their first possession of the 2nd half. And the ball on the ground on the missed exchange. And actually no gain.
Yeah. You had Edwards trying to hand it off to King. It kind of bounced away from both of them when it came through, and he just had to fall on it.
Whatever that signal is, that means
He's asking them for something.
yeah, you don't have all the bar pants on there with the plastic clipboards and everything else around the wrist.
You just saw number 12 coming through. That's Derek Williams. He is another backup quarterback.
Ryan McCorkle and Derek Williams are the wideouts. They'll move Peoples over in the slot and have King as the setback. He'll get the football. And he's got a yard. As we go inside.
He slipped.
Yep. Hey, coming up next week, guess what? Headliners, 8 o'clock live in our studio. E.C. Smith and probably some special guests will be there as we get to be really home versus the Spiders. We'll take on Anson and the Bearcats in the newly aligned South Piedmont Conference. We're going on the road. That's our big road trip of the year down there to Wadesboro, Anson County. And that'll be a tough road for the Spiders next week.
Yeah, Coach Massey and his Wonders will take on Mooresville, and that'll be a big game as well.
Oh, yeah. I think October 26th, a big game, a crucial week in the conference. Things will really shake out after that. Here's a huge hole for Peoples across midfield and down to the Trojan 45-yard line, and that'll probably be it. That'll be the last play that the Wonders will have to run tonight. As we tick inside 10 seconds, homecoming crowd going home happy tonight as the Wonders will remain perfect. 3-0 now in the North Piedmont Conference, and they'll go to 5-3 this season, having won now 4 straight as they win it tonight over our rival Northwest Cabarrus, 35-7, our final score. Back with more coverage in just a minute. Wonders win it tonight to go 3-0 in the North Piedmont Conference. Let's go field side. Here's Woody Kane.
Okay, thanks, Randy. Well, Coach Massey, a few weeks ago, a lot of people were starting to count your team out, but they showed a lot of heart, battled back through a lot of adversity, and now you're right where you want to be in the conference.
Well, that's what I just got through telling them. I said, think back 4 weeks ago, we were 1-3, and we asked the kids, said, still believe in us, don't lose faith in what we're trying to do here in this football program, and they haven't. And now they put themselves in a position to, we've got 3 games left, and each one of them will be for a conference championship in our eyes. So, we just got to keep playing hard and keep continuing to improve.
Tonight's game, a real tight first half. They take a long drive and score at 7-7. Looks like it's going to be a real nail biter. Then you guys get a couple of turnovers there and lights out.
Yeah. Our defense did a great job getting offense the ball back, and we were able to put some points on the board. I tell you what, I don't know how many yards Roseburg had. I thought our defense did a real good job of containing him. You know, he had a couple nice runs, but we contained him, and that's what we wanted to do. But, you know, they're a very good football team, and they did what they wanted to do, and I thought that first half, just like you said, I know Glenn did a great job. They controlled the clock and methodically moved the ball down the field, which is what he wanted to do. And I anticipated going in at half possibly 7-7.
Well, Coach, before we let you go, let's hold up this ball. The guy's kind of tossed it to you. We're going to tell on you anyway. That's his 101st coaching career victory. Coach, congratulations and good luck next week.
Guys, appreciate it.
Okay, let's go back upstairs to Randy for a look at those final numbers.
Okay, thanks, Woody. And let's take a look at the final stats. There you see it, evidenced by the ball control, especially in the first half and maybe the fourth quarter. Northwest Cabarrus the advantage in first downs, rushing 121 yards. They did control Roseburg. He did not get outside for the big runs. And passing, Drew Marr, what a great night tonight. 8 of 13, 197 yards, 4 touchdown passes, 358 total yards offense. And the big key was the turnovers. The first 2 kind of set the stage for the rest of the game. That's, I'll look at some final stats for you. And as Coach Massey said, next week, Kannapolis goes up to Mooresville, a top 10 team in the state. A big implication as far as the conference championship is concerned for Northwest Cabarrus. They will be at home against West Rowan. So happy things tonight on Homecoming 2001 for A.L. Brown. For Steve Gant, Woody Cannon, the entire Metro production staff, Randy Whitley saying thanks for being with us. 35-7 our final score. Wonders a winner tonight.